Poverty is a real scourge that kills the human being, whom God Almighty has honored over all his other creatures, where he has endowed with reason, spirit and natural resources. However, the selfish natures of some people who possessed power, money, knowledge and influence made them claim this honor for themselves, without others. So they overwhelmed their brothers, which led to the spread of wars, poverty, famines and corruption around the world. So there is no longer a spot in the world free of these deadly pests. According to the Human Development Report issued by the United Nations in 2010, there are many countries that suffer from extreme poverty as a result of several factors, which are civil wars and the outbreak of many diseases and natural disasters. In this video we show you the most poorest 10 countries in the world. Although it contains large quantities of phosphate, it suffers from very weak economic growth, due to civil wars, insecurity and political chaos, as more than half of its population does not exceed $1.50 in their daily income. Malawi is among the least developed countries in the world and the most densely populated, with about 85% of the population living in rural areas. And there are more than 53% of the population of Malawi living below the poverty line. It is considered one of the most important countries producing diamonds, gold and titanium, but there are 70% of its population living below the poverty line. The succession of coups in the 90s led to weak central authority and the emergence of an organized crime to smuggle rough diamonds from its mines at low prices for international diamond companies. When you wander the streets of the capital, Niamey, you see misery in the faces of its citizens, who possess the world's richest wealth of uranium, gold, oil and fertile land suitable for agriculture. While Niger is one of the poorest countries in the world, and it is considered one of the politically unstable countries. In addition, it suffers from complex economic problems and it has a lot of debt. It is considered one of the richest countries in terms of mineral wealth, as it contains gold, silver, diamonds and wood in addition to the abundance of agricultural lands and water. But it is still one of the poorest countries in the world today. Eritrea occupies a unique geographical location, and this is what made it coveted by the colonial countries, where its economy is experiencing slow growth, and 80% of its population depends on animal products to live. And about half of the families in Eritrea depend on women to secure a living. And women currently suffer from malnutrition due to a shortage of food. And about 425,000 children under the age of 14 suffer from various diseases. Infant mortality rates and maternal mortality rates in this country are among the worst in Africa as a result of the hunger experienced by families, and suffer from a chronic situation in civil wars and tribal conflicts. And also economic freedom in the country is non-existent. And there is a lack of educational opportunities. And above all this there is a wide spread of AIDS. Suffering a lot of complex economic problems. And there are very high rates of inflation, and the average age of its population is the lowest globally, reaching 47 years for males and 37 years for females, and spreading many sexual diseases and immunodeficiency virus. Liberia is one of the poorest countries in the world, with an average annual per capita income of no more than $250 a year. where more than 85% of its population lives on less than $1 a day, and has witnessed civil wars and instability for a long time, and that negatively affected this country. It is considered one of the poorest countries on the face of the globe. In 1998, the country participated in a war with the armies of Africa. And this war has been described as the bloodiest since the end of the Second World War, as it killed 5 million people, despite the fact that it possesses a lot of natural resources, like gold, diamonds and mineral wealth. However, it has not been able to achieve any development or progress.